Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Well, I guess we're not seeing each other per se, but yeah. So today our class. Oh, just hold on one little bitty. All right, where were we? Somewhere. We're here. So we went over a couple of weeks ago the situation in the Ukraine and what was going on, and that was before everything else happened. So what I want to go over today is some ways that we can support, or like it says here, stand with Ukraine. And we want to stand with them. They want peace and harmony just like we want. And they don't want people trying to take over their lives and lives that they were very happy with. So, and typically when it comes to helping in situations like this, the best thing we can really do, since we can't really volunteer our time, what we can do is usually donate money. Or donate, there's other things you can donate as well. But I'm going to go over some other ways that are not financial of how we can, together try to help the Ukraine in the situation that they're in right now. Even though, we're in the U.S., they're there, and we want to help. But this is specifically how, well, it says how Americans, but yeah, so that's for Canada, South America, Central America, all of North America, How can all of us, but, especially us right here in the U.S., in the United States, how can we help? So, let's go over this. So, as the Russian invasion of Ukraine continues, Americans have offered an outpouring of support for the Ukrainian people. Here are a few ways that you and me can join the effort. Donations. Sorry, I just like saying it that way. So, donations. Charity organizations are offering a wide range of support for those affected by the war. So here are a few that have received high marks, 3 or 4 stars, from Charity Navigator, which assesses groups' efficiency, transparency, and other factors. That's good. I didn't know that. I'm glad there's checks and balances, because sometimes you can give your money to a charity, and guess what? It isn't the best charity in the whole world. So, Global Giving supports nonprofits around the world through crowdfunding. Its Ukrainian Crisis Relief Fund is working toward a goal of $7 million to provide food, water, shelter, and other assistance to refugees. So that's Global Giving supports. And Direct Relief is working to fulfill a list of medical needs provided to the organization by Ukraine's health ministry. So that is a big one. So, donating to these places to help people get food, water, shelter, and other assistance, as well as medical supplies, is very important. And then another place that you can donate money to, CARE, which, again, these are well-founded organizations. So CARE, a 75-year-old program, or 75-year-old organization operating in 100 countries, is working to provide food, water, and hygiene kits for those suffering in Ukraine. So donate here as CARE seeks to support 4 million people. That's a lot of people. Here's another one that you've probably heard of, but Doctors Without Borders, a 50-year-old Nobel-winning organization, has teams in Ukraine as well as surrounding countries, and it works to send staff and medical supplies to the hardest hit areas. So you can donate to them as well to support its efforts in the Ukraine and elsewhere in the world. And they send staff to actually, doctors that go beyond the borders of the United States to help with their expertise, because there's not much of a language barrier when it comes to having a big gash or shrapnel and somebody helping fix that. That it's universal, like, I need help. There's also Save the Children, in which we always need to remember, kids are being affected by this. A century-old organization that has worked in 100 countries, has a Ukraine crisis relief fund aimed at furnishing children and families with food, hygiene kits, funding, and more. There's also the International Rescue Committee, which has teams working in Poland, aiding displaced families. The organization, founded in 1933, operates in 40 countries, and donations go to food, medical treatment, and other care in Ukraine, Afghanistan. No, I always say the Ukraine, but it's just Ukraine. In Ukraine, Afghanistan, Syria, and elsewhere. So you can donate there to the IRG, or International Rescue Committee. Oh, IRC, sorry. Around the world. And another one was the last one. So Razom, it's RAZOM, a Ukrainian-focused charity founded in 2014, is furnishing medical supplies to the country and working to amplify the voices of Ukrainians. It has not been evaluated by Charity Navigator, but has received wide coverage in the U.S. media. And so, if you go to this site, this is the U.S. News. So you'd go to, I'm sure you can look anywhere to donate, but if you look this up, just this article, U.S. News, how Americans can help the people in the Ukraine, look that up, and you should be able to come across this article. And if you did want to donate money, or your family did, go ahead and go there. Okay, so here we go. Now, how are some other ways that we can help the Ukraine, or to help Ukraine? Sorry. Well, one thing you can do, and this is not financial, write to your congressperson. Each one of us, even though like a lot of us live in Richmond, we have different congresspeople. So write to your congressperson. So you can use your zip code to find your local U.S. representative. And again, this article, so if you want, it is The Guardian, so it's www.theguardian.com/US -news /2022 /March /404 /how -Americans -can -help -people -of -Ukraine. Put all that in there, and then you can just click on these links. Because right here it says you can use your zip code to find your local representative. Click on their image and find the information to voice your opinion on the Russian invasion. You can also contact the White House. And there's a link where you can actually do that. You can also attend protests or volunteer. And there's also a list here of forthcoming demonstrations against the invasion, including many in the U.S. to show support. And support local Ukrainian journalism. So you can support the English language Kiev Independent and the New Voice of Ukraine directly. There's also a GoFundMe page to support Ukrainian media more broadly as journalists risk their safety, which has been happening. So Russia's invasion of Ukraine has abruptly transformed the world. 1 million people have already fled. A new Iron Curtain is grinding into place. An economic war deepens as the military conflict escalates and civilian casualties rise. It's our job, what it says here, it's our job at the Guardian to decipher a rapidly changing landscape, particularly when it involves a mounting refugee crisis at the risk of unthinkable escalation. Our correspondents on the ground on both sides of the Ukraine-Russia border and throughout the globe delivering round-the-clock reporting analysis during this perilous moment. And it says here, we know there's no substitute for being there, and will stay on the ground, as we did during the 1917 revolution. The Ukrainian famine of the 1930s, the collapse of the 1991, and the first Russo-Ukrainian conflict in 2014. So it says we have an illustrious 200-year history reporting throughout Europe in times of upheaval, peace, and everything in between. We won't let up now. So, well, this is more just... Okay, well, that's pretty much the class. So, this is really... I thought this was more ways that you could help. It's not. It's just them talking about how great they are, and please donate to them. But it is good to donate to places because it is free journalism for you to read. They're not really being paid by us. They get paid separately. So if you do want to support different, journalists, I mean, if you go and look, there are a lot of people, journalists that are going to the Ukraine so that they can bring you coverage of something and put themselves in very dangerous situations. Which, a lot of respect for them for doing that. But so there are a lot of ways. I do suggest that you contact your congressperson. Also, just if you know anybody who is being affected by this personally, really be a friend, but a friend that just is willing to lend an ear and listen. Maybe not give your political views, maybe not say much of anything where it's like, oh, this is what I think should happen. Leave that out of it and just listen. Being there for somebody, being a shoulder to cry on, can be very important during these times. So, we all do our best, and I know you all will too. If you, of course, any of you have any suggestions as to maybe how we can even help more, please, I always encourage you to let us all know. Here, you let me know in our class. I'll kind of put that out there on WhatsApp or throughout the program. If there's any really good ways that you could think that we could help and we could actually facilitate. Anyway, have a great day. Best of thoughts out to everyone in Ukraine. All right, I will see you next time.